How y'all doing? Today we have a legendary player with us. Really excited to talk ball with this guy. He's definitely a hooper on the field. The way he moves is sort of basketball esque. It's really fluid. It's really poetic. We're talking about a guy with speed. Talking about a guy that don't drop passes, and he is Mr. Yards after catch. We are talking to Mason Tipton. I'm happy that you're here, my man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. I appreciate you having me, boss.
Yes, sir. So let's talk about it a little bit. You're in New Orleans. Before we started this, we're talking about how the heat's doing. How the heat treating you? How the humidity treating you, boss?
I mean, it's an adjustment. I'm
Yeah,
from Ohio. It's not you're not gonna get 90% humidity in Ohio, man. So,
yeah,
first couple of days definitely an adjustment, but it's a blessing, man. I love it down here, and just looking forward to continuing the journey down here, man.
yeah. How do you feel about just being in that black and gold? Like, how's that hitting you right now?
It's special. I mean, it's special. I know that every day I get to go in that facility is a blessing.
Right.
So that's kind of how it's kind of what my mentality is for all of it, man. It's I know it's a lot of people that want to be in these seats, and I'm doing everything I can, doing whatever I can do to, move forward and keep pushing. So that's really just a mindset, bro, for
Yeah,
real.
and that's good to have, my man. So let's talk a little bit about your background. I know you're from Akron. Just talk a little bit about being brought up in that environment and how you maneuver when you were in your youth. And were you playing sports back then? Have you always been a sports guy? What sports have you played? Stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love my hometown. I have a great community back home, a lot of support back home. Great family, two great parents,
God bless,
three
baby.
older brothers. Yeah, man, just blessing, man.
Yes.
So, little sister, I got a great family, so I really, really couldn't be more blessed with them. And yeah, man, in high school, I was a hooper. Obviously, football and played baseball. So
Okay.
those were the three in high school. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how you transfer those skills from those different sports into football. Like, what are those like little detailed things that people might not understand that really helps you work your way when you're going against a DB or whoever's in front of you?
No doubt, no doubt. I mean, basketball. I mean, at least being a wide receiver. I mean, you if you can't hoop, you ain't gonna get off the line. I mean, let's
Thanks.
be real. A lot of the releases, a lot of the quick twitch movements that you see a lot of the wideouts do, and real basketball moves. It's between the legs, behind the back. It's just real quick head
Yeah.
and shoulder deception. Um, and that kind of gets the route started. I think that kind of goes over a lot of guys, a lot of people's heads. But it's really basketball on grass.
Yeah.
Um, and then, baseball, I played center field, so tracking down a ball in the outfield kind of has been how it translates to me tracking a football over the shoulder. So
Yeah. That makes
both
perfect
sports
sense.
definitely help, man, for sure.
Yeah, and I just had this conversation with my homeboy, and we was talking about. I was trying to tell him like how Stephon Diggs had that. He had like this little short film content about how he used the AI crossover to like get past his
Hmm.
defenders, and I was just like, that's so interesting because I never thought about it that way. But that like lateral movement, going
For
left to
real.
right, or faking somebody to go inside when you're going out, or the opposite, vice versa.
Hmm.
That's real game. Somebody could
Yeah.
put, a young wide receiver on. A lot of times, you see somebody coming off a route and they might think they shaking somebody, but their footwork tells you where they going. So having that like understanding of nah, we really got a ball out here and be fluid. That's
Hmm.
a cool concept I think to talk about.
No
So a
doubt.
little talk to me about like that family foundation though. Like how invested were is your family when it comes to your football career?
I mean, man, I definitely wouldn't be here, um, if it weren't for that investment. Driving to practice, picking me up from
Hmm.
school, making sure I had dinner. I mean, you name it, bro. Like, um, I mean, even to hey, Mace, you got a free day today. Let's go to the batting cages. Like,
Mm.
let's go get it in. Like, I mean, it from a young age, it took a while to stick, but I mean, from a young age, it's just like learning that each day, you can't just stay there. Like every day is a gift. So what you
Right.
gonna do today to get better? I mean, that was something my dad had always kind of drilled into me. Like, look, we got time. Let's just go get better. And I think that I'm super super blessed because I mean it just kind of paved the way. It taught me how to work, taught me how to view opportunities and take advantage of it.
That's great, man. It's nothing like having that family foundation to get you through those trials and tribulations. So yeah, that's awesome to hear. I always sort of like to ask people like, how's your family background doing? Because I know, especially for a football life, injuries, things like that, just L's. Your
Hmm.
family tells you it's a lesson, and it gets you to
Yes,
keep
sir.
pushing. So that's great
Yes,
to
sir.
hear.
For
So
sure.
let's talk a little bit about your youth success, because everything I've seen in articles or conversations, you have just, when you ball to win. Talk
Hmm.
about going to a juggernaut high school in Ohio and how that
Hmm.
sort of built you into the man you are today.
For sure. I think going to that high school taught me a few things, and I think the most important one is it taught me how to grind.
Yeah,
I didn't start in football till I was a junior, like real
mm,
meaningful downs as a junior. So, I mean, those freshman sophomore years, you can either sink or swim, and
yeah,
I think that's something that you don't really see a lot anymore. I think a lot of people are used to just being the man immediately, and
mm,
I'm so blessed that um, that lesson has already, I won't say already been taught, but I know how to grind. If I know how to get better. I know that if I'm falling short, I know that I just got to put my head down and work on the things that I got to work on. And I'm just so fortunate because I mean, you got to be a grinder to be great. I
yeah.
mean, you can't just show up and be great on Sunday, man. So, um, yeah, definitely learning how to work, learning how to get better, making sure that every moment is spent the right way moving forward. It was something that I definitely learned from Hoban.
Yeah. And like, was there anybody in high school that you was just like, when you were first, starting to get those serious minutes, who was that guy that was like, man, this dude is tough, man. I don't know what to do with this guy.
I mean, I think back to my coaches. Um, I think back to the wide receiver coaches I had. I'm still tight with my high school wide receiver coach. We
Cool.
still talk, every other week, really every month. So, I mean, that's my guy. He kind of saw my progression.
Yeah.
And at least the junior to senior year leap. I mean, he was there for that. And like I said, one of my closest friends and great dudes. Someone like that is I'm real fortunate to have those long lasting relationships with.
Yeah, that's awesome. I find it funny that, when you talk to players that, play at high levels, you usually think not that it's not like the head coach, but they usually go to the, their position coach or the or some assistant coach. I had my brother, he played at Lehigh in Pennsylvania,
Hmm.
and I always be like, "Hey man, like, who was that guy? Like, who's that coach?" And he'd be like, "Man, it was the assistant coach. It was like the coach that
Yeah.
was like working side by side." So when I talk to football players and they just like, it's almost all the time straight position
Yeah.
coach. Like,
For
that's
real.
because that's the guy you spend the most time with. So it's
Hmm.
cool. Like, you see the work when a guy has that connection with his position coach, but when he doesn't have that connection, you're like, dang, I wonder what that's about. So, that's good to hear that you still tapped in with your
Yes,
position
sir.
coach. Um, and that's sort of transfer or going to, figuring out where you want to go in college.
Hmm.
How is that process? You come from a school that just wins. Um, so I know you probably weren't directly, and this is no diss to Ivy League schools, but you're probably like, hey, I might, want to go to, a power five type school. Like, how is
Yes,
that
sir.
process going?
Yeah, man. I mean, so I think it kind of just comes. My recruiting started late.
Mm,
There's a lot of at least most big time schools. You recruiting that when your film out as a sophomore,
mm,
junior. So I mean, it just started late. I began my senior season with one offer, and I was to the Naval Academy, and I just didn't want to serve. I didn't want to, at that point they were running a triple option, so it really
yeah,
wasn't conducive to my skill set, man. So I finished my senior season with around 15 offers, and yeah, man. I mean, I'll be honest, it really came down to my mom.
Myles, man.
Like I had no, I really never even dreamt of playing Ivy League football. It just wasn't something that was on my radar, let alone going to an Ivy League school. And yeah, what I got that call, and I was telling my parents, "Hey, Yale offered me." My mom was like, "Listen, you're gonna take this visit.
Yeah,
Like, you don't have to go there, but you can take this visit." So, at that point, it was Kent State in the MAC. That was about 30 minutes for me. I loved Kent State. I loved the direction it was going in. So I really liked that school. But I took the visit, man, and I loved it at Yale. And like it made the most sense. I love the coaches. I love the program, the brotherhood. It just was,
yeah.
something I wanted to continue and continue going to. So rest was history, man. I ended up going to Yale, and great experience for me.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about some of those first interactions. Like when you got to Yale, um, you know, first off the bat, you think about Ivy League school, you think about grades. Um, I don't know how you balance that, but that's a huge kudos to you, like balancing.
Appreciate it.
'Cause I know football is it's a 24-hour thing. If you're really tapped in, it's a 24-hour thing.
No doubt.
Especially people at that level. So talk about like balancing schoolwork, balancing calling mom when you need to, balancing if you got relationships and stuff like that. How you balance all that stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's maturity. I think it starts with maturity, man. I think getting out of Ohio, because I'm a homebody. I love, like I said, I have a lot of
Yeah,
love for my family. I enjoy being home. But getting out of Ohio, and being a considerable distance away, where it's a commitment if I really want to try and get home, like that was big.
yeah,
Um, taught me how to kind of be more self sufficient. Um, and as far as school goes, I mean, yeah, I mean, there was some dark, there was some dark days, man. Like
hey,
as a
facts.
as a freshman, man, like it was rough. It was rough. It was rough, and you know, I started every game as a freshman, and I
Ooh,
think it, you know, I was all, also so having to balance, knowing my assignment with getting my assignments in on time for school. It was rough. It
that's a
was rough, but
bar.
at the same time, for real, it was rough. But at the same time, like you, just kind of like I said, you can either sink or swim. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they're really, you just kind of have to make a decision. Like, all right, this is what I chose to do. This is kind of what I have to do, and it's got to get done.
yeah,
And I had great teammates. Like I said, a lot of phone calls from mom and dad. Like, man, this is really weighing on me, and they helped me out, and tell me what I needed to hear. And I had, like I said, I made a lot of great relationships at Yale. Nobody really wanted, if you're a good guy, nobody wants to see you fail, man.
yeah.
It's a lot about relationships and treating people the right way. And was real fortunate to have a lot of great people, support systems that when I needed help, like my boy, we were the same major. We was in that same room studying, grinding, making sure we got all our assignments in. So, I mean, like I said, man, just it was a grind, but I'm better for it. I'm better for it. It taught me kind of some, ways to manage my time better, so that I didn't get to Sunday night and it was 10 o'clock and I had three more things to turn in by midnight.
Right, right, right. And that's a lot of that's some of the conversations I just like to have because those are the transferable things you see when a guy goes to the league. Hey, was he able to like hold down the fort for himself when he was in college? And did he
Hmm.
have the maturity to ask for help and stay disciplined in times of need and stuff like that? Because I'm a young adult too. You're a young adult. Life could be really life, and sometimes life could get hard and
Hmm.
sometimes you just got to ask for help. Sometimes you just got to stay the course, stay disciplined. So that's good to hear.
Yes,
Who
sir.
was who was that who was that first matchup in college that you were like, "Mm, this is like, yeah, I like this matchup a lot. um he's giving me a tougher time than maybe I thought, and you just appreciated the battle."
Yeah, I mean, one of my closest friends. He's a DB. His name is Dathan. We met. He's a year older than me. Super competitive dude, spirited dude, and just somebody that showed up to work. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it just showed up to work. Kind of, he taught me in a lot of ways. how to get a little more dog out of you, something,
Mm,
to do that one of my closest friends to this day. Um, and yeah, man, I think we had a lot of battles. Unfortunately, he's had a lot of injuries in the past, but he's still grinding, and it's just kind of someone that's real inspirational to me.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, man, I mean, we had a lot of fun matchups. One of my other boys, the corner, who was a captain this last year, um, had a lot of fun battles with him. So just some of those small interactions that
yeah.
really just build to be something a lot more lifelong friendships, man. So definitely those two guys come to mind.
That's awesome hearing about that brotherhood. Sometimes people don't expect somebody to be like, it's a guy on my team. But
Hmm. Yeah.
that's when you really, dogging your way out of season when you like going to practice, you're like, oh, we about to work. Yeah,
Oh yeah, you win the
that's the
games of
real
practice, man. You
definitely.
the work done in the games, you ball in the games, the grind practice. Like that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
for sure. So let's talk about the draft process. Let's talk about getting to the Saints. How that worked out? What type of conversations did you have with your agent? Who were
Hmm.
some other teams you were looking at, and what finally attracted you to come be in the black and gold?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a process, man. That day is probably one of the days I won't ever forget.
Yeah,
Just as far as who's just saw it, I mean, I'm watching the screen like, you that Saturday, you watching the screen from noon to whenever the draft ends. So just watching. But I go back to some of the conversations I had in the pre-draft, before the draft, and I had a few conversations with Coach Dub, the wideouts coach, and yeah, man. I mean, he's somebody that I appreciate just because he just gonna tell you how it is.
yeah,
He ain't gonna, that's something I look you got to look for in a man. Like, is he gonna tell the truth? Is he gonna stand on what he's talking about? And he
facts.
does. So he kept it a band with me, and I was like, you got opportunity, you got to work, you got to show, who you are, but you got opportunity here with, it kind of went from there, and I was like, you know what, man, like I think it's a great opportunity. And my agent, said the same thing. So we here, man. That's it. It's as simple as that.
Hey, I like
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Who's so like you're in the city? What's some of the first interactions within off airline at the facility that you were just like, yeah, I like this dude, or somebody that's been giving just dropping dimes. That's not the wide receiver coach. I know he's just giving you dimes all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I can pick out a single person. I think I like the culture that we
Mm,
have in the room. Like, there's no, you got to show up with your work every day. You know what I'm saying? I love, I think if I could point to one direction, we just had a lift today, and we get in that weight room like it's one mentality. Like you taking care of business, you getting better, you pushing so that this we gonna get every ounce out of this workout. Like, I respect that. Like, I
yeah,
respect somebody that's gonna push me. Like, as somebody that's already motivated. I respect somebody that's gonna, like, look, we gonna ring every ounce of yo. You know what I'm saying? I respect
yeah.
that. And that's just something I always appreciate. I appreciate somebody that's gonna push me to be my best. And that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, we definitely have a group of guys that seem to be very determined to make sure people know the name on the back of that black and gold jersey.
Hmm.
Kudos to everybody putting in that work. What Speaking of the weight room, what's your favorite like workout to do in the weight room?
Ah, I don't know, man. I guess as I did a lot of stuff in the pre-draft process that I hadn't done, a lot before, and we started really getting into a lot more velocity-based movements,
Mm,
like rather than throwing on like 5 plates on your back, 4 plates on your back,
mm,
and just squatting. Like, it was really more like, hey, put this weight and move it fast, like be explosive. It was a lot
yeah,
more like plyometric type stuff. I enjoy that. Like, that's that. I know I'm getting more explosive. Um, So, I don't know if I can point out as, I love getting field work, and that's where I can really get my,
yeah.
But all the stuff in the weight room as far as just moving stuff fast, working on deceleration, top speed, peak power. That stuff I enjoy.
Give me that one drill that coach be like, "Yeah, get on the line," and you be like, you just put your head down. You just like, man, God.
I don't know if
Dang.
I've got that yet. So
Oh,
I can't
I
even
wouldn't say
really
that out
speak on.
loud, bro.
Hey, I don't hey, I feel like that's probably coming in training camp. But that kind of goes back to my point, man.
Yeah.
It's showing up to work every day. Like there hasn't been a point where I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like we working. I respect that, and that's something that I look forward to every day.
Well, that's really good to hear because I got about 10 things I could say if the coach told me to get to the line that I'm like putting my head down. I'm just like, man, am I good enough for this? You know what I'm saying? There's that self-doubt when the coach tell you get on that line. But it's great to hear, honestly, that ain't nothing scaring you away from the work. That's
Hmm.
what it takes to be a professional. So, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
it's good to hear that. Let's talk a little bit about that prep work in the draft. You talked about doing a little bit more plyometrics, explosive training, and it definitely paid off. I saw the
Hmm.
40 time. Hey, my man, four
I
three three,
appreciate it.
bro.
Appreciate it.
Hey,
No doubt.
talk about like once that happened, officially, and
Hmm.
everybody just gets to see, like, yeah, I'm a 4-3 guy. Like, don't ever play on my name again.
Nah, yeah. I being able to replicate, kind of. I had ran that, 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks prior was
Mm,
what it was, and I'm just thankful. I thank God. It was it was absolutely what I needed to do.
yeah,
Like I had to show that I could run a low 4.3 and um, put that next to my name. And I'm just fortunate that I was able to put my best out there on the day that it mattered. That was really important. I thank God for that.
yeah, man. I'm just looking at these measurables right now, man, and that's probably the one that like sticks out the most to me because it's just like you're going to the league. A regular human being, you're not an undersized guy, but nowadays in the league, they want the biggest wide receiver possible, and they want a wide
Hmm.
receiver big that runs the same time as you. But guys that are of your physique and show like, hey, I might not be that huge height that you want to see, but I do have this speed. I'm agile. I'm explosive off the cut, and I don't drop
Hmm.
passes at all.
Hmm.
Your whole college career is basically catches that weren't dropped. It's just straight boom and let's move. And I'm watching the
Yes, sir.
tape. I'm watching the tape. I'm reading the articles, but the tape really, the eye test is hard to lose with the eye test. I'm watching the tape,
Hmm.
man. Let's talk about the tape, man. Straight sideline catches over, time sometimes, two cornerbacks or a cornerback and a safety, over the shoulder, right in the pocket. Um, no drop, 2 feet in. Is really just showing like, hey, I'm doing it already. Like, what else do y'all need to see? Talk about just being that. I don't. You're NFL ready, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about just like getting your bag like that. Man, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you see college wide receivers, they cool with the one. They're cool with the 1 foot. But,
Hmm.
scouts are definitely looking for guys that's already doing 2 feet. They're looking if you're doing it in traffic. Um, just what's that mindset, that mentality to, being that, just headspace of like, I don't care what the defense think they about to do. I'm about to catch this ball. They can hit me as hard as they want to, whatever. I
Hmm.
see and be me.
No, I think it kind of. I'll be honest, man. It boils down to kind of the mindset that I use for everything, man. Like there's nothing like competing.
Mm,
And there's just, when I made the decision that this is what I wanted to do, like you have no choice. Like if I'm gonna say that, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like if I'm gonna say that I want to be an NFL receiver, like I got to make those plays. That's something that I have to do. If
right.
I'm gonna sit here and tell you that, that's something I have to show. and it was really just a decision, that coming back from that one decision, I said to myself as a junior in high school, like, I want to, I'm going to use every day to make sure that whatever I do today has to make me better tomorrow.
Right.
Like, what am I going to do today so that I'm couple percent, 1%, at least 1% better tomorrow? Like,
Love that.
I think it's just a mindset, man. You attack the same day with the same energy, you bring the same work pen, and you get to work. I want to ring out all the potential I have in this game. So them plays got to be made. Those are expectation. You know what I'm saying? It's expectation to go out there and win. So I think it boils down to that, man. And that's something that I just can't wait. I look forward to, the opportunity to compete here and just give everything I can to this team.
Talk about competing and optimizing your capabilities, while you have the time to do it. Let's talk about short-term goals that you have. Let's just talk first summer and then let's say for the season.
Yeah, man. I don't even know if I have any tangible goals. I think the biggest thing that I want to do is show what I can bring to the organization. I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Like, they know that they have a guy that's gonna work his ass off, excuse me, and
Are
and,
you
and
good,
get to
bro?
work every day. Um, so I think that's important. They got to know that somebody loves ball.
Yeah.
Um, but it's showing that day in day out through what I'm putting on film, and that's what I look forward to, just showing day in day out that I love this process.
I love the mentality, man. Brick by brick mentality. You know what I'm saying? We step by step. That's how we get to the next. And hopefully the next represents the work I put in from that previous step. I love that mentality. Um, to get the fans a little bit more knowledge of you, let's talk about some off-field stuff, man. So, like, you have any hobbies? Like, what you like to do when when you're not on the field, when you're relaxing? And that's don't tell me that you like to watch film. I know you do. I get it. But something outside of that.
I mean, listen, I'll try and get creative for you. I'll be honest. I'm a very simple guy. Like, if you haven't met, like, I got a very one track mind. Like, it's hard. I can't really do two things I'll be honest, I can't really do two things at the same time. Like, I'm here, I'm in New Orleans, and I'm here in New Orleans strictly because of football. Like, if I'm gonna kick my feet up, I'll probably watch a show. I enjoy watching shows. Like, I
Okay.
enjoy watching movies. But like, I'll be honest, I got my PS5. Like, I'll be honest, that thing is catching dust. Just, you know what I mean? Like,
I
it's
feel that.
just
Hey, I
like,
completely
I'm
understand
here
that.
for one reason, bro. They're really, maybe my answer is different, in a couple months, but maybe not. Like, this is just what I'm here for. I hate to
Got you.
I hate to be that guy, but
It's
it's
all
what
it's
I'm
all
here
good,
for,
my
man.
man.
So I got nothing juicy.
Um, that's let me ask you this then. What music are you listening to? Pre-game music? What's your turn up music after a good dub? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a rough time to say it, but I listen. I'm a Drake guy at heart. I'm a Drake guy at heart.
It's
I've been
all
a Drake
good,
fan
bro.
since I was a little kid, so I'm a stick it, man. But really, Drake, Future, those are staples. So, like,
Yeah.
um, the new Gunna album is crazy. That, been enjoying that, but yeah, man.
Tough. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay. Can you give me like a top song or something that you just like, oh,
Hmm.
we about to go to war. What's the song we listening to?
Mm. Yeah, that's a good one. I think ah, I got a couple. I got a couple.
Okay.
If I'm really gonna get my mind right, I'm probably going back to, man. I might go all the way back to "I'm on One" with
Ooh.
Drake. I'll go all the way back to "No New Friends." Like, I'll go all the way back to
Mm.
some of those. I'll go back to the old Future. I'll go back to, Hardly.
Yeah.
Couple of them. I'll go back to, I love a lot of the new stuff, but if I'm a really getting locked in for a game, then
Yeah.
I got a few old gems in the playlist
You got to
that'll
get
get my
that
mind right.
nostalgia out for sure.
Yeah,
Let's talk
yeah.
about favorite players. I I know you're a multi-sport guy. Let's start with
Mhm.
baseball.
See, man, the reality is I love playing baseball. I didn't watch it. I
I
didn't watch
completely
it.
get
I
that
didn't
though.
watch it. It was something I love to do. I love being with, I love playing with the guys in high
Yeah,
school. Um, but I didn't watch it. I didn't watch a lot of baseball. I still don't watch a lot of baseball. If I'm gonna watch something, it's usually gonna be basketball or football. I'm a big NBA fan, big NFL fan. So,
I
um,
completely get that because I like playing
yeah,
baseball when somebody doesn't like throw the ball fast, but I don't like watching it at all. I couldn't go watch a baseball game personally, but playing it is pretty fun.
I'd say going to a baseball game is fun. Going to a baseball game, like being in an MLB arena, that I think that's fun. If it's on the TV though, no disrespect to any baseball people, but I
Gotcha.
wouldn't choose to put it on. Honestly, I watched the College World Series. I watched
Okay,
College World
facts.
Series. That's great ball. That's great ball. But I'm not a real casual baseball fan.
Okay, cool. But you said basketball. It's good basketball time right now. Who's your favorite
Uh huh.
basketball player?
Uh huh. I'm from Akron, bro. So we're LeBron or nothing. Like
Gotcha.
I mean, I won't speak for everybody, but I'm a big LeBron fan, so I need these Nuggets out the playoffs.
Look, man, I'm
I
sorry
need
to
them out
break
the
it.
playoffs.
I don't know what to
I
tell
know
you, man.
it's slim. I respect ball. They nice. I
They're
respect them.
tough.
I ain't, but I'm rooting for Minnesota, so I'm just gonna say that now.
As a Pelican fan, because I talk Pelicans a lot too. I have to beef with you right now, but
Uh huh.
we're
I
gonna keep that
understand.
just
Yeah,
we're
I
just gonna keep
understand.
that just sports. You know what I'm saying? My man Zion got
Appreciate
hurt
it.
playing the Lakers. I'm still going through a lot of pain in my life right now just because of that. And then Braun dropped like I don't he drops like 30 plus on us every time he plays us. So but I also love LeBron. I just wish he wasn't on the Lakers. But no, Bron's
I
the GOAT.
understand it.
I completely understand the conversation. It's not even like I don't debate people about it no more. I stopped doing
I
that.
don't either. I don't either.
Yeah. And dang, being from Akron, like man, I wish the GOAT came from New Orleans. I'd be talking mad trash
Hey,
all day. Why not?
it's hard. It's hard for me to even like entertain. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
Yes. Okay,
yeah.
football player though. I know you're your own favorite football player probably because if I was
Hmm.
playing football and I'm in the NFL, I'm like it's me. But like growing up, when you were watching football, and it doesn't have to be a wide receiver, of course. And let's do this. Who's your favorite college football player of all time, and then NFL?
Ooh,
Because college is
ooh,
a whole different ball
um,
game.
ooh. So I guess if we start college, I mean, I remember
Shout
when
out to college
Lamar.
football dropping soon.
I remember when Lamar started going crazy at Louisville, and
Mm,
those are probably some of the highlights I'll never forget. Like I remember
mm.
just like it's really hard for me to pick. You know, man, them plays was special. Like that's I'll never forget some of those plays that he was doing. Like, man, it's just crazy. So yeah, Lamar Jackson Louisville highlights are undefeated for me. Um, as far as the NFL, I've always watched a lot of Devontae Adams growing up.
Every wide
Specifically in high
receiver's
school.
favorite player.
It's poetry, man. So um, he's so detailed, so sudden, actually extremely fast. I think that a lot of people forget that.
Yeah,
But it's just real sudden. He's very precise, and he's a technician. I've been a Devontae Adams fan for more than a couple of years now, and try and study as much as I can.
I just think it's funny. The Saints get a lot of wide receivers from Ohio or like Ohio State. They got Chris Olave, and we had
Hmm.
Michael Thomas. Um, don't you find it funny that this is sort of like, and talk your talk if you feel like I'm being disrespectful or wrong, but like Louisiana is one of like the wide receiver like states in the country. Like,
Oh no, I can't disagree. I mean, with LSU, I really can't. I really can't disagree at all. Y'all putting out legitimate wide receivers. So no,
I
I
appreciate
can't
that.
I can't even discredit your statement.
And I had an interview with Kyler Buh. I don't know if you talked to him yet. He's at the mini camps. He's a nose guard D tackle. He went to
Okay.
Minnesota, and we were talking about favorite college players. And this is a guy that I just like to bring up with everybody because he's one of my favorite college players of all time. DeAnthony Thomas. Um, Oregon.
Yeah, them highlights is electric.
It's up there with Tavon
Electric.
Austin highlights.
Yeah,
It's
electric
like what are we?
highlights.
It's that's man, college used to just be so fun to watch as a youngin, watching those
Hmm.
guys ball out. I know it's just crazy, like you being in that position and being like, I got a chance to do this now, and like have this film work, and now you're in the NFL, having an opportunity to get that film work in and just learn from the best, learn from the brightest, learn from people that's been through the ups and downs. You're for the most part of your career, from my knowledge, you've been fairly durable. Um, so that shout out to you, shout out to your body because some people just ain't built for the
For real.
brutality of the league. And like just speaking of the brutality of playing football, I have to ask you, the conversation has been going crazy. Austin Rivers, man, we're talking about can football players are football players better, at transferring their skills into basketball, or is, basketball players better at transferring their skills into football? That's not the exact, prompt of what he said. He said
Mm.
like, coming off like right now, can they do it? Who can do it more?
I
How do you
mean,
feel about the
it would
conversation?
be hard. It would be hard for me to take his side. I mean, just strictly because I'm a football player. And plus, I mean,
And you play
I don't know.
basketball.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of I. There aren't many. They're just, at least in my experience. I can't speak for everyone. In my experience, um, I just know way too many football players that can really go hoop.
Mm,
And I feel like it's not. I feel like it. Now I am around a lot more football players than I am hoopers. Um, but I just know too many that can really go out there and get busy casually. Like I really can't. Um, obviously, I really haven't even got my feet wet in the league, so I can't really say I know that for certain. But at least in college, there's a lot of us that could go out there and go hoop. So it's hard for me to take the other side,
yeah.
without really know. You know what I'm saying? So
Let me tell you
I don't
something.
really know.
I played basketball versus Demario Davis at a little church league. Not a game. Um, like like can shoot deep, like half court shots, like,
Mm,
and he's just an athletic freak. And I think
yeah.
that's what people aren't understanding. Like NFL people, they're used to brutality. You're not about to just body them. And
Mm.
these guys are still just as fast. They jump just as high. Uh, now, are there mechanics there to like shoot the ball? I don't know, but I can tell you from a physical standpoint, absolutely.
Yeah, they're gonna be
They could,
ready.
they could they could
They're
definitely
gonna
do
be
that.
ready.
All right, last few questions. You're in New Orleans. Give me your favorite food, favorite meal.
Man, I'm still working on my I'm still working on getting my seafood game, up. It hasn't, like I said, from Ohio. I mean,
Yeah,
I like shrimp. What I mean, but I really haven't had time to kind of immerse myself in the culture here. So that's
yeah.
something that I look forward to doing. Um,
They're gonna get you right. Don't worry.
yeah,
They
yeah, I
guarantee
look
gonna get you
forward
right.
to diving more into that. But I guess stay tuned. I'll have better for you, but
Okay,
we ain't
perfect.
there yet.
Because I'm definitely after this summer, I think you're gonna ball out. I hope to see you, down the line and talk about how everything went, and how the culture, because most people don't know. New Orleans is not like Louisiana for the most part. Like this city is its own like little state. It's its
Mm,
own like culture, all the different dialects and things of that nature, Um, you just see some characters out here, man. I know you see characters everywhere, but New Orleans
hmm.
characters is it's a different characters. And I just really hope, you're able to, take in what this city has to offer. I know you're gonna be working and your one track mind, focus on ball, but don't forget to, you only live once, go get some gumbo, go get some, some food,
Yes,
love
sir.
yourself a little bit. Don't just go get beat up by them huge NFL linemen and cornerbacks and stuff like that. Because let me tell you something, the Saints got some DBs and some
Oh
safeties.
yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
you're definitely going up
No
against
doubt.
Mr. Honey Badger, Mr.
No
Hometown
doubt.
Kid. But yeah,
No doubt.
speaking of that, last thing, who's some of those vets that and I know you want to, I know you're gonna say, I just want to learn from everybody, the best of them.
Mhm.
I need like a name or two. What's one of those guys?
I'm sorry. Wait. What's the question? Like one of those guys that I
Yeah, what's some name a vet or us, yeah, just name a vet that you're sort of, or vets, plural, whatever, that you're really sort of just intrigued to, go talk ball with.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we named them. The honey. I've been watching the Honey Badger since I was. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's a
facts.
legend. That's still surreal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, um, being a fan for a long time, another crazy college football highlight on that topic. Um, so that yeah, I definitely. I mean, his resume speaks for itself, and that's something
facts.
that just be real interested and humble to kind of get some game from him for sure.
Yeah, it's also just cool when I talk to wide receivers and they're just like, bro, I talk to the DBs just as much as I try to learn from the wide receivers, and I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah,
you're thinking smarter, not harder, bro.
oh
That's
yeah.
yeah, you're tapping in. I know I said that was the last one. I like to ask this one just to get a little spicy, question. Um, don't have to answer if you don't want to, but give me a celebrity crush.
I can't give it. I'll be honest. I don't.
One track
I don't know.
mind.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Focus on
saying.
that game.
You feel
I
me?
get it, my man. I get it. I get it. I'm gonna let you slide with that one. I'm gonna ask you that one when the camera not rolling. Um,
Nah, it's all good,
I'm
man.
playing with you. But I really appreciate the conversation. I'm really looking forward to seeing your success. I know you're grinding. Stay healthy, have fun, ball out, show the world who you are. You ball out this, you ball out, you put in the work. Um, this city likes guys that talk that talk, then walk that walk. We don't like pushovers. We don't like soft guys or whatever. We
No
like guys
doubt.
that's gonna go out there, put their helmet into somebody's chest, go get a TD, do whatever it takes to win. It seems like you've got that mentality. I'm happy that you're in the black and gold jersey. I'm happy that you're working with this organization. I'm happy that you're in New Orleans. Nothing but love and success to you, and good health for your family and yourself. Happy that you're here in New Orleans. So um, that's it,
I
man.
appreciate it, man. Appreciate it
Happy,
for sure.
welcome to New Orleans. Welcome to the Big Easy, man. It's gonna be a show. It's gonna be a movie.
That's love, man. I appreciate it. I
All right,
appreciate
big
it.
dog. Enjoy your day.
All right, boss.
All right.